I just learned that self-driving cars have already been involved in more accidents than you'd think. It's a statistic that's got me wondering, are we really ready for autonomous cars to hit the road? You're probably thinking, what's the big deal? They're just computers on wheels, right? But it's not that simple. The truth is, autonomous cars are a game changer, and we're not just talking about Tesla's latest innovations here. I've been following the development of self-driving cars for a while now, and I've got to say, it's been a wild ride. We've seen companies like Waymo and Uber invest billions in this technology, and it's starting to pay off. They're already testing Robotaxi on public roads, and the results are pretty impressive. But, as with any new tech, there are still plenty of unknowns, like, how do these cars really make decisions on the road? And that's what got me thinking, how do self-driving cars actually work? It's not like they're just following a set of pre-programmed rules, they've got to be able to think on their feet, or rather, on their wheels. It's kind of like how our brains process information, except instead of neurons, they're using complex algorithms and sensors. It's mind-boggling, really, when you think about it. But, as excited as I am about the potential of autonomous cars, I'm also a bit concerned. I mean, we're talking about machines that can drive themselves, without any human intervention. It's a pretty big responsibility. And what happens when something goes wrong? Who's liable, the manufacturer, the owner, or the software developer? It's a tangled web, and one that we're still trying to untangle. As I delved deeper into the world of self-driving cars, I started to notice some interesting parallels with other industries. For example, think about how airplanes work. They're basically just big, complicated machines that can fly themselves, with a human pilot overseeing everything. And it's similar with self-driving cars, except instead of flying, they're driving. But, just like with airplanes, there are multiple redundancies built in, so if one system fails, another can take over. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what about the jobs? Won't self-driving cars just replace human drivers? And, yes, that's a valid concern. But, it's also worth considering the benefits, like, how many lives could be saved by taking human error out of the equation? According to some estimates, up to 90% of accidents are caused by human mistake. That's a staggering number, and one that really puts things into perspective. As we continue to develop and refine this technology, I think we'll start to see some really exciting applications. For example, imagine being able to summon a Robotaxi with just the touch of a button, no more worrying about parking, or traffic, or even driving itself. It's like having your own personal chauffeur, without the hefty price tag. And, it's not just about convenience, it's also about accessibility. Think about how this could change the lives of people with disabilities. But, as we hurtle towards a future with autonomous cars, we've got to ask ourselves, what does this mean for our transportation systems as a whole? Are we looking at a complete overhaul, or just a gradual shift? And, what about the infrastructure? Will we need to rebuild our roads, or can we just adapt what we've already got? These are all questions that we're still trying to answer. And, as I sit here, thinking about all of this, I've got to admit, I'm a bit torn. Part of me is thrilled at the prospect of self-driving cars, and the potential they hold. But, another part of me is worried, what if we're moving too fast, without fully considering the consequences? It's a tricky balance, and one that we've got to get right. As I reflect on my own experiences with technology, I realize that I've always been a bit of a skeptic. I like to question things, and think about the potential downsides. But, with autonomous cars, I think we're at a crossroads. We can either embrace this technology, and all its possibilities, or we can let fear hold us back. It's a choice that we've got to make, and one that will shape the future of transportation. So, as we look to the future, I've got to ask, what do you think is the most exciting, or terrifying, aspect of self-driving cars? Is it the potential for increased safety, or the risk of job displacement? Let's discuss, and see if we can't unravel some of the mysteries surrounding autonomous cars. And, if you're as fascinated as I am by this technology, then join me next time, as we explore more of the latest developments in AI and transportation. I'd love to have you along for the ride, and to hear your thoughts on this topic, so be sure to subscribe.